Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to take a look at an excellent piece of software for debloating Windows 11 and also optimizing it and also cutting out most of the telemetry data which Microsoft loves to collect about you when you're using a computer. Now this is going to be extremely beneficial to those of you that are still on the fence. You're running Windows 10 and you're contemplating going to Windows 11, but you're a little bit concerned about the stuff that goes on in the background or the fact that the operating system just looks and feels very different. This tool can help to kind of help you through that situation of getting used to the new operating system, which inevitably most of you will probably end up having to do. Anyway, with all that said, let's head over to the computer and take a closer look. And here we are on our Windows desktop, and just to show you, this is me putting my money where my mouth is. This is actually my video editing PC, which I've just recently reinstalled about a month or so ago. Actually probably less than that now. It's still got a few bits and pieces which I'm not entirely keen on, so some of the tweaks I have kind of done myself manually, but I really do like to do it in one fell swoop. So let's head over to the Windows Store. Yep, I know some of you aren't going to appreciate this, but it is what it is. And if we look for Wintoys, and you can see this application here. So this is Wintoys by Bogdan Patrusyan, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not entirely sure. And this is in the utilities and tools section. It's got a 4.7 out of 5 rating, which is yeah, it's pretty decent. And also, because of the fact it is a Windows Store app, you can pretty much guarantee that this is going to be safe for you to use. Also, I should mention that Wintoys is not an open source program. They've actually decided to do that because they don't want people to clone it and then put it out as an exe which you can download, which potentially could be harmful, and obviously that could ruin the brand, so to speak, and also give you a bad experience. So they've decided to put it on the Microsoft Store as a download from here. Now obviously if you don't want to use the Microsoft Store after you've installed this, then potentially, yeah. Anyway, I'm with you now. Let's get this thing installed and we'll take a look. So it's very quick to install, it's only a very small program, and there we go. So that is installed. So now we can just click on the open button and user account control will come up. You won't be seeing this because I'm recording this on OBS locally on my computer. So let's close down these windows. And now basically what it's going to do is going to check your system and do a quick little scan of it. And after a short while, you should have the Wintoys option. Otherwise, there's a little arrow at the bottom, which you can click on, which will bring this up. So this is the kind of the main interface. So it gives you the home screen. You also got apps, services, performance, health, and tweaks. Also at the bottom there, you've got feedback and also settings. So if you go into settings, you can choose your theme. So if you want a dark theme, which some people prefer, so I'll switch it to that now. Also, you can choose a backdrop that appears in the app. Various options there to make it slightly more readable. You also got a landing page, so you can choose which one you go to as a default. So most people probably have home, and you've got persistent sorting filtering. You can put a shortcut on your desktop, which yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So there we go, we've got our Wintoys shortcut there, and also you can do a restoration. So if you've changed anything and you don't like the changes, they've added this in. I think this is new, and this is how to restore any of the settings. So click on that. It's grayed out at the moment because we've made no changes, but if we make changes, that will then become illuminated. And this is Wintoys version 2.091, and this is the middle of June 2025, just for those of you that are interested. Obviously you can leave feedback as well if you wanted to, and I think it's probably best we get started. So on the home page, again, you've got your system information there about your processor, your RAM, etc. There's a performance monitor as well, so you can click on that and it will tell you how much performance your system has, which can be a little bit of fun. You've also got your system uptime, how many apps are running, how many processes are running, how many services are running, how much space has been cleaned, the processor percentage of use, video card use, memory and network, etc. So yeah, useful stats there potentially. If we go into the applications, so it's going to search through the apps on your system, and you can decide which one of these you actually wish to remove. So you click on the end there and you can choose uninstall. So I've pretty much done a what I feel is a pretty good job on this. So I don't think there's anything on here which I don't really need. This has all been pretty much cleaned up, but you can go ahead and uninstall apps from here should you wish to. So again, if you want to uninstall any apps, you can do to debloat Windows on an individual basis, which I think is actually the safer way of doing it rather than using a script to kind of just bash them all out. So there is the applications. So in services, Also, you can change services or set them to manual, automatic, etc. Those are entirely up to you. So again, you can go through and disable some of those services should you wish to. They tell you what they are as well, and if you click on the information, it tells you what they do. So if you want to, you can go through and change those. The apps and services section is more for the individual if you want to change anything there. What we're really concerned about mostly, I guess, is going to be performance, the health, and also the tweaks. The tweaks are the important one. We'll do that very last. So performance wise, so you've got the option here for turning on the ultimate performance plan if you wanted to. Also, you can enable hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, which you should have enabled. If for some reason this is disabled when you first go into it, that is because your GPU actually doesn't support it. So it will be disabled as a default and it cannot be enabled. Also, you've got the VBS, the virtualization based security. I would suggest having that on. You can actually make your system faster and games get more FPS if you turn that off, but there are potential security risks. So as it says there, this might decrease in-game performance by up to 30%, but Microsoft research states that it reduced malware reports by 60%. So it's a kind of win or lose depending what you want to do and what you use your system for. Startup apps. So you can go in here and you can choose which startup apps are available. You can add them and you'll be notified when an app is enabled. You've got your PC manager. So that is running on startup. The Windows terminal, we've disabled that already. The cross-device experience host, that's disabled. Phone link, turn that off already. Xbox live gaming, that's turned off, so that's not running at startup. The Edge auto launch, basically I've disabled a lot of these already, so depending on what you've got installed on your system as startup apps, they will be shown here. Like I said, I've pretty much disabled all of these already, so yours may be enabled, so if you want to reduce those, you certainly can do. There's a setting here for relaunching apps, so that automatically kind of restarts apps when you sign back in. I wouldn't leave that enabled, but it's entirely up to you. If you regularly use your PC for specific tasks and you want certain apps to be relaunched, then you can do. Background apps, again, you can disable those from running in the background. Activity history, so we'll get that turned off. If we go into visual settings, so you've got options for transparency. So to make Windows a little bit snappier, you can turn off transparency if you wanted to. Gaming settings, so you can turn on game mode. Again, entirely up to you if you do that. Windowed mode optimizations, background recording, that's turned off at the moment. And super fetch, actually, I should have removed that, so we'll get rid of that, we don't need that. It's a modern system, super fetch is not required. Search indexing, so this allows indexing to run in the background. I would turn that off as well personally, it's entirely up to you. If you turn that off, it will break certain things, such as the search function in the Outlook Classic app. So if you're someone who regularly searches through your emails, then potentially you might want to toggle that on whilst you want to do that. That is entirely up to you. You also got delivery optimization, so that shares Windows download updates with their devices on your local network. So again, I'll probably turn that off. And that is pretty much it for that section. So you can just close those down or make them smaller. And that is pretty much it for the performance side of things. So I'm pretty happy with that, that's fine for us. We go into health. So you can do things like fast startup. Generally that will be turned off. I would turn it off personally. Hibernation, we can get rid of that as well. Don't want hibernation. You've got options in here for cleanup. So you can get rid of junk. File Explorer, you can clear the caches and stuff. Microsoft Store cache, DNS cache, and the system restore space. You can delete those. So for cleaning up and freeing a bit more space, that's pretty useful. Then you've got your drive optimization, so it helps your device run more efficiently. That's a Windows setting. You can toggle it on here, so if you click on those buttons there, you can choose what happens. So for doing things like trimming drives, etc., that potentially could be something you could turn off if you wanted to. So you can do it all manually. Storage sense as well, so that automatically clears up some of your temporary system files. Again, entirely up to you whether you have that enabled or not. You can turn that on or off. The repair section, so you can do repairs based on all of these here. So if you just want to run system file checker or check disk, you can click on scan. If it shows any issues, you can then choose the repair option. That's quite a nice thing to have there. It saves you having to remember all of the individual prompts. You've got your memory diagnostics, so if you're having problems with memory, you can click on there. And also system updates, you can choose to disable updates. You can have it so it manually updates, or just for security updates, or you can leave it as default. That's entirely up to you. App updates, you can choose to have applications automatically update. You can take a sleeping pill as well if you want to. That is to detect and stop scheduled tasks from randomly waking up your device from sleep. So if you're someone who's got your PC in your bedroom and your PC keeps on waking up and all your RGB lights up, you can possibly use the sleeping pill. That is enabled at the moment. The graphics driver, so you can restart your graphics driver and you can rebuild your icon cache. Again, potentially helpful things. The thing we're looking at more so, I think, is going to be the tweaks. So the tweaks section is divided up into these individual categories. So you've got desktop tweaks, start menu, file explorer, etc. So you can choose which one is more specific to you. So if we go to desktop, you've got things which you can show on your desktop, such as this PC, recycle bin, widgets, the shortcut arrow. Some people don't like that, so you can remove the shortcut arrow. I don't mind it personally. Drop shadows, the show desktop icon, title bar window shake, the classic context menu. I've already enabled that. I do much prefer having that, so again, that is something which I would definitely turn on. Wallpaper quality, you can adjust that if you wanted to. Then we can go to start menu settings. So you can choose web results when searching, so I don't want that. And auto install suggestions, don't want that either. Again, yours may look different because I've already done some things on this already manually. So yours may look different. When you go into File Explorer, so you've got the option for showing file extensions. So when we do our things like the BAS flashback videos, it's really handy to have that enabled. Also, show hidden and system items. I generally keep that disabled just to make it look cleaner, but if you need to see it, just toggle that on. So these are all just toggled on or off. So blue is on, and when it's grayed out, it's off. Show files after extraction is complete. That's yeah, pretty much something I would want to do. A classic interface, so you can turn that on. So if you like the ribbons, or when you open up File Explorer, etc., and you want the classic interface, and also for when you kind of right click on a file, that is actually quite useful. So we'll have the classic interface. Show the preview pane for files. Again, I generally don't have that. If I want to see what they are, I'll generally open them up. The recycle bin, you've got options for that as well. The home, so that is actually in the Windows Explorer. So if you don't want it to show the home section, then you can get rid of that. If I open up Windows there, so you can see there's home in your gallery. So that comes up when you're doing File Explorer. And if we now turn off home, and it says reopen File Explorer to see the effect. And there we go. Home is gone. I don't use the home anyway, so that is okay. And also we'll do the same for gallery as well. Get rid of that. Use checkboxes to select items. So if you're on a touchscreen device, you may want to enable that. Sync provider notifications, that's turned off. And the open to, so when you actually click on Explorer, you've got the option to either go into this PC, or the default I think is home, but you can also go to downloads as well if you want to have a more of a Mac-like experience. So that for some people is useful. So that is the kind of the main tweaks there. Let's take a look into privacy. Sorry, this video is going on for a little bit, but there you go. So you can turn off location, you can turn off telemetry. Some of these I've done already. So the customer experience improvement program, the apps telemetry, that's turned off. App launches tracking, so we'll turn that off. Error reporting, yeah, turn off the camera. You can basically go through these and choose which ones you want. Error reporting, actually, I will turn that off. So that is for kind of telemetry and privacy stuff. So they've simplified it a lot. So telemetry is just like a one-stop deal. So you can just turn that straight off. That's pretty cool. Ads, so again, this is going to be something which I want to turn off basically everything. So suggested content, don't want that. Homepage and settings app, that's gone anyway. Suggested notifications, don't want that. Lock screen fun facts, tricks and tips, don't want that. Windows tips and suggestions, welcome experience, don't want that. And finish setting up your device, that is annoying as all hell. So we'll get rid of that. So that has cleaned up a lot of things which would have taken actually ages to find the individual settings in Windows itself or registry edits. So that's pretty cool. So that is the ads section done. Now we go to system. So clock with seconds. Some people will find that quite useful. Somebody I actually work with on a Sunday, he turns that on so he knows exactly when to do the caching up to close the shop. So if you want to do that, you can do it. Just add seconds down to your time there. You don't want to lose a few precious seconds when you're not being paid for it. You can have the option of end task as well. So if you turn that on, when you right click on something which is open, then you've now got the option for end task, which is pretty useful. Clipboard history is turned off. Snipping with the print screen key, again, if you want to turn it on or off, you can do. Mouse acceleration and feedback notifications, again, you can turn those off if you want to. Alt and tab, you can choose it to do all tabs, which is kind of like what it should be. 5 most recent, 3, or no tabs at all. So I'm going to choose all tabs. Digital Markets Act, if you click on it, it says there. So the Digital Markets Act, if we roll over the toggle box there, it tells you basically what it is. So it basically means that you can uninstall Microsoft Edge from the control panel, and also some settings components can be removed as well, which wouldn't normally allow you to remove them, such as Bing and things like that. So if you want to turn it on, you can do. That's entirely up to you. Also in the super user, so you can turn on God mode if you wanted to, developer mode as well. User account control, you can turn on or off or choose, and also user choice protection driver. So as you see there, so this is a service which blocks third-party apps and scripts from unwanted changes to certain registry keys for default app settings, etc., etc. So this is for software and some older hardware. Some older hardware is blocked by Windows. You'll get a notification about that. So if you want to overwrite that, then you can do, or overwrite it rather. And last of all, on this section, we've got the spotlight images. So if you want to, you can extract images that appear on your lock screen. And that is pretty much it for there. So let's go back to the home screen, and shouldn't have made any changes yet to processes and apps, etc., because it's basically kept it the same. But essentially, this is a pretty useful little tool. It's not massively powerful, but it is certainly very convenient, and turning off things like the telemetry and making your start menu look nicer. In Copilot, we don't have here at the moment as well, which is pretty useful. So yeah, that is going to help. If you type in anything in the search, then Copilot is also removed from there, and we don't have the internet stuff either. So it's a little bit cleaner when it comes to searching, a little bit more privacy, and lots of little tweaks in there which I quite like using on a daily basis. So there you go, there is a look at the Wintoys app. I really do like using it. This is the second video I've done on this, so for those of you that watched the original video, thank you very much. And I think the interface is actually improved. It seems a little bit slicker, and also now we've got some more information on the individual toggles, so that makes life a little bit easier. There are some other things in there which I would probably like to have seen specifically mentioned, such as the kind of the more debloating side of things, so a longer list of files to remove, although saying that I've removed most of them anyway, so this was kind of like a last Hail Mary to try and make Windows a little bit more snappy and remove some of that telemetry, which for some reason hadn't been removed previously, even though I'd asked it to in certain sections. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the Wintoys app. I really like using it, and if you do, obviously leave them a review comment. That will always help. If you want any more help or advice on this particular subject, please let me know in that comments section below, or alternatively you can head over to our Discord chat. We can talk about things in there such as debloating Windows and basically any other tech things you may want to speak about. I think that's going to pretty much wrap this video up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe and also that chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.